Thank you, everybody. And Chairman, General Secretary, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nathan Horrocks, and as David said, I'm a former jockey, award-winning film director, producer, and co-founder of Equine Productions and JockeyCam. So I've got a little bit of a confession to make. Growing up in England, horse racing never really captured my interest. But in 1991, at the age of 16, my father would call me down from my bedroom, where I was probably listening to the latest hip-hop album, and call me down to watch Arazi win the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at Churchill Downs. The American coverage was completely different experience to how I had seen horse racing broadcast before. That race, and the way it was presented to me, was the hook that would make me a fan. Fast forward to 2012, my two business partners and I would dedicate our time to show horse racing in a way that would inspire and engage audiences within and outside of the sport. From award-winning documentaries, TV commercials, features, using innovative filming techniques and thinking creatively to get people's attention has always been at the forefront of what we do. We've put together a short clip to show how we are modernizing the viewing experience and also continuously searching for that same hook to attract future fans.
You think you have the courage to ride a half-ton thoroughbred? That JockeyCam taking you right into the action.
This is fabulous, because you can get into his mind and wonder what he's thinking.
Can't afford to second guess, and I have to be decisive.
Over the famous round mile at Ascot Racecourse.
Lines up!
And they're set, and they're off and racing.
The only thing you're missing right now is dirt flying in your face.
Murphy has burst through.
Wow, what a ride by a sheet. He's managed to pull that one out of the fire.
It's all about the big day, and everybody is trying to win those huge races.
To go home with a winner would be ridiculous. I'm nervous now.
It's all on the final fence here.
So, why is storytelling so important? Well, we've been telling stories in sport since the ancient Greek times to help audiences have a connection to the game. The modern era, with the advent of digital platforms, has amplified the reach and impact of storytelling. By weaving compelling stories around sports and its participants and key moments, fans are more likely to become emotionally and financially invested. But in order to tell better stories, we need the right tools, but we also need our athletes to be relatable, and more importantly, they need to be recognized. So, as it's at the end of the day, and I'm sure we're all feeling a little bit tired and we're all checking our LinkedIn page, I would like us all to do a little case study together. Now then, this might have looked a little bit different this morning, so this might backfire because half the room's probably in the bar right now. So what I'd like us all to do is like us all to stand up. Everybody get off their chairs and everybody stand up in the room. Let's get us all up on our feet, get some blood in our legs. Everybody up? Great. Okay, right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show an image on the screen. If you don't know the name of the person or recognize them, right, I want you to sit down. But don't worry. We're going to start with an easy one. Oh, we had a couple of people sat down. Okay, right. Tiger Woods, probably one of the most famous athletes, famous golfers in the world. So those that sat down, everybody stand back up again. We're going to have another athlete. Everybody recognize this person? Serena Williams. one of the a tennis icon with 23 Grand Slams. Right, okay, everybody's still stood up. This is looking really good. Right, I'm going to show you another athlete. If you don't recognize this person, sit down. There we go. A couple of them sat down. Okay, this is actually James McDonald. If you guys all thought this was actually Ryan Moore, it's James McDonald, currently in second place in the Longines World Jockeys Standings 2024. Right, those of you that sat down, all please stand up. We've only got one more to go. Here's our next athlete. Everybody recognize this person? No, looks like, well, we've lost a lot more there. Right, Irad Ortiz, leading rider 6 times in the last 8 years with nearly 4,000 wins and over 323 million in career earnings. Right, guys, thank you so much for taking part in that little case study. Everybody sit down. Right, this was an example to show that even in a room full of racing fans, we still don't fully recognize our athletes. Other sporting bodies have recognized the importance of utilizing their athletes, to market their sports as they serve as very powerful ambassadors who can attract fans, sponsors, and media attention, which ultimately increase visibility and revenue. Being a former jockey and a horse lover, I understand that the equine athletes are also the stars of our sport, and our fans have had the opportunity to engage with some of our equine stars like Golden 60, Winx, Romantic Warrior, and Enable. But our equine athletes' competitive lives tend to be limited due to the breeding industry. This doesn't encourage our fans to become attached. Our jockeys not only serve as the voices of our equine athletes, but they can also be the faces that help market our sports, with many of them being reflective of modern society. One sport that has utilised their athletes better than most is Formula One. And it's been hard to ignore the success of F1 since Liberty Media took over in 2017. They took the sport from a $1.8 billion business to a $3.2 billion business. Their goal was to target the US audience by enhancing the marketing, by enhancing the sport's global appeal, and they did this by increasing fan engagement, modernising the viewing experience, maximising commercial opportunities through strategic investments, and implementing digital innovations. This has been such a success for Liberty Media that they have now acquired MotoGP for $4.5 billion. So, what have we been doing at Equine Productions and JockeyCam to modernise the viewing experience through storytelling and digital innovations? Well, in 2021, we launched Horsepower, a 4-part docuseries following the UK-based trainer Andrew Balding and his team through a racing season that was aired on Amazon Prime. We were keen to kind of lift the curtain on our sport and give audiences a real insight into how our industry works, and more importantly, the love and care our equine athletes receive from the characters within it. Here is a scene from episode 4.
At the 1.25 mile start. And they're off for the Golden Gates Handicap. 1 or 2 riders really driving their mounts along. Frankie Dettori wants to get really handy on King Frankel, and Fox's Tails in the hands of Oisin Murphy, the back marker.
It was really rough in front of me. I ended up going back to the fence.
It was a very, very nervous moment. It was sat stone cold last.
Towards the rear, Irish Legend, and lastly, Fox's Tails.
Oisin's a racing animal. He has an ability to really enjoy the moment. He loves being in a race. Time slows down for him. He can see things happening.
We're going at 40 miles an hour, and I can't afford to second guess. It has to be split second, and I have to be decisive and believe in myself. So I just said, oh, it's going to open up in the straight, and just let him go. When I gave him the hurry up, he really took off.
Fox's tails will go for a run up the far side from Irish legend. Fantastic Fox comes back to the field. King Frankel and Visualization challenging down the outside. Visualization doing well. And Fox's tails has burst through on the far side. Machine Murphy is clear on the far side. Visualization, then King Frankel and Irish legend. Fox's tails now veering violently left-handed, but out clear by 3 lengths. And Fox's tails goes on to win. And Machine Murphy will be the leading rider at Royal Ascot 2021.
Yeah, really enjoyed creating that series. And after Horsepower's release, Amazon were very impressed with what they call the audience click-through rate, which basically means anybody that did click on episode 1 stayed throughout the whole series. Amazon are also keen to see what other stories we can tell in this space, and we've just recently sold the rights to Horsepower to the BBC in the UK, which will help our sport reach 90% of the UK's population. With all the content that we create, authenticity and innovative camera angles are key to entertaining and engaging our audiences. One of those tools that has helped bring authenticity and a dynamic view to sports is the live onboard camera, also known as a POV camera. This technology has helped major broadcasters tell stories from the athlete's perspective, giving fans the opportunity to have a unique view of their favourite sport. However, it's been a huge challenge in our sport in the past to utilise this technology due to the size, the weight, and more importantly, the safety of these cameras. But as you can see, it wasn't without trying. Horse racing needed its own camera to be developed. It needed to be safe, it needed to be lightweight, and it also needed to be broadcast quality. But more importantly, it also needed to be live. So we had to create our own camera, and we created JockeyCam, a 6-ounce safety-approved live broadcast quality camera that puts our audiences amongst the action. Currently, in the US today, we now deliver 3,700 live races a year, giving broadcasters like FanDuel TV, NBC, and Fox Sports the capabilities of utilizing these live POV images. This tech has also caught the attention of other sports and has led us into developing cameras for other sports like rugby with our RefCam, motorsport, and most recently, golf. So, how is it used and what are the benefits? Well, the live image provides channels with an invaluable ability to utilize the technology for instant replays, conduct detailed video analysis, gain a deeper understanding of the skills displayed by our human and equine athletes by enhancing an appreciation of the sport. We also make these pictures available to the stewards, the trainers, the owners, jockeys, and their coaches for their own race analysis, proving that this technology is a tool for the rest of the sport. Here is an example from our friends at FanDuel TV.
ISOCam and the JockeyCam, bottom right-hand corner. This will be a great view. Let's roll it and see it from JJ's perspective. I mean, he's all dressed up with nowhere to go. He's just sitting there waiting for a seam, and there's nothing in front of him. Not only that, they're going to start coming back into him. They're closing in from the outside. Simon, great ride from Juan.
Yeah, and look at the bottom right-hand screen. If that rail doesn't drop away there, that temporary rail, I don't think he wins this race. We've seen so many races over the years at Del Mar 1 with this move.
We heard from Fumi earlier about how these onboard race replays can also help create traffic on social media. We found that JockeyCam replays have a 270% uplift in viewing figures on social media compared to regular race replays. And on screen you can see some of the many comments that we receive when sharing JockeyCam content, proving that fans are engaging and appreciating the skill of both our human and equine athletes. So there is an audience out there.
And Anna said quite content to trail it, no hurry at all.
Digital innovations are also something that we have also been implementing over the last few years. In 2023, we teamed up with Total Performance Data to show how live graphics can be integrated into the live JockeyCam view. As you can see here, this image shows speed, position in the race, and how far away from the finishing line. But we've also implemented the percentage chance of winning by using a live in-play algorithm.
Only 5 off the leaders. They come to the...
We have also been collaborating with Best State 360 to utilize each camera angle available on our racetracks to help create a customized replay viewing application that engages our digital audiences. As you can see, this interactive player allows viewers to seamlessly scroll through various camera options, including the drone, the head-on view, the reverse view, ISO camera, and also JockeyCam views, making it an invaluable video analysis tool for our bettors, but also our participants. Additionally, this second screen application will enhance the live viewing experience for fans at home and other sporting events. We have also been developing wearable GPS devices that can enhance the viewing experience by leveraging AI technology to provide a horse identifier function. This makes it easier for fans to recognize the horse that they have placed the bet on. This also can be incorporated for an option for an in-play betting function, which will ultimately help drive revenue for our sport. Now then, as I'm a former jockey, I've always aspired to provide the public with a fully immersive and authentic tool to experience the thrill of race riding. By harnessing 360-degree camera technology and a decade of experience as content creators, we have created a virtual reality experience from some of the most famous racetracks across the globe, using real horses and real jockeys. Companies like Coral, British Champion Series, First, and Breeders' Cup have been rolling out this technology at a number of their racetracks around the world. For example, we use this technology at the Preakness in the US, where over 1,500 participants use the experience, and this was extremely useful to our client First, as they managed to data capture all of the participants. This tech also enables us to take racing beyond the racetrack and to reach out beyond our core audience, to be used as an entertainment and educational tool to showcase horse racing at other sporting events, trade shows, and more importantly, schools. In this competitive world of sports, it's essential to continuously strive to capture the attention of audiences both within and outside of the sport. Engaging, educating, and entertaining fans are vital pillars that not only enhance their experience, but also ensure long-term growth and vitality. Like many of us in this room, we all share a deep passion for this industry, and it's our responsibility to ensure its growth and success. Our chairman's message and the title of this conference is to be connected and stride together. So help me, help you, make our sport a vibrant and dynamic spectacle to capture the hearts and minds of fans everywhere. I thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Nathan, thank you. Fascinating, a whole array of products as well. I'm aware we're up on the clock, and I know there are buses that are going to leave, so we're not going to have our conversation, but I do just want to put one question to you, and it's built around the Horsepower series, and there's some huge insights in there, and some very frank and open moments as well. And I just wonder, where does the editorial control fit into that? Because it's challenging to get that, and there must have been times when there was some back and forth about what you could or couldn't use.
Well, it was extremely challenging, and you know, we've all become fans of the sporting documentaries that have been shown up on our screens on Netflix, Amazon, and Apple. And you know, in this world of streaming sporting stories, we need to get buy-in from our streaming platforms. And the thing is that we constantly think that the streaming platforms are going to come and help and save us, but we've got to make our own stories and then sell them to the platforms, because that's the way this industry works these days. Some of the challenges were quite difficult. I mean, we were able to speak to Andrew Baldwin and his team, and we had buy-in from the sport. But some of the challenge that we did have was, the cost of buying the race footage, and also other things that got in the way of that. But lucky enough, the sport was opened the doors, and I believe that we can tell better stories going forward and help engage a wider audience.
But that's quite an interesting point about the streaming channels as well. It's not as straightforward perhaps as it might appear to be, even when this is the most popular form of doco at the moment.
It is, yeah. Look, the streaming platforms aren't going to come and save us. We need to save ourselves. So we need to be better at that. And going forward, let's do what we can to make sure that we leave the sport in a better place than we found it.
Good message, Nathan. Thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you to Janine as well, to all our presentations this afternoon.